MWI Pumps is a fourth generation family business, and we are in the large volume water pump business. We service the flood control and also rental dewatering sector.
We manufacture a lot of water tanks and the water tanks and diesel tanks as well. They have to be pressure tested because they can't have any leaks. When the components have leaks, we have to rework the components to fix the leaks, so that is time consuming.
Before we tried out the BotX, we tried a more traditional robot, which we still have, and that required a lot more training. It required a lot more fixturing, so we wanted to look for an easier way to weld and without having to go through all those type of the learning curve, and that's where the BotX came in. The machine showed up in a couple pallets on one day, and then the very next morning a team of 2 people came from RadioArc, and they started setting it up maybe around 8. It was set up by about 10, and they started training. So by noon, I actually had 3 people trained on the BotX. I guess I wouldn't believe it if I didn't see it myself, but I was there that morning of the install, and I noticed there's a couple other people there that I hadn't met before, and I noticed there's a lot of interest to make sure that this works properly. So that's where I first met Andy.
Yeah, so I met Darren, and I asked if I could take a tour of his facility. I wanted to know a little bit more about the process.
He spent about a day or so here looking at some of the welds we were doing, seeing how people were setting up their machines, and out of that, realized that even just basic setups on your voltages and the amps on the machines weren't being done correctly to be able to get the welds that we wanted.
And at the end of the tour, he goes, "You know, you're asking a lot of great questions." I said, "Well, that's what we do at Airgas, is we really want to help manufacturers really kind of unlock the hidden cost of welding, things that you wouldn't typically see on a daily basis. You know, where can you lower your cost of manufacturing? And that's what we do."
There is a report that Andy did showing how much welding wire and how much gas we were using, and also how by switching gases and even switching wires, you could ultimately save at the end of the day. And so that program is working well.
We came in with our toolbox and we did some weld process testing with different gas and wire combinations and different parameters.
That training was very important. He teach everybody here how to, number one, set the machine in a proper way. That way we can save gas, we save wire, and we be more productive.
The productivity increase we've seen was around 33%, and that's just in fabrication time. We've saved 446 hours on manufacturing 128 water tanks. So that's a substantial gain. That's almost 500 hours of work. That's just from switching from a manual process to the automated process with the BotX. So if you want to go into, weld quality issues and rework, those numbers too have greatly decreased because the weld quality is higher now. We're not having as many repairs as far as leaks are concerned, and we're not having to rework any welding because the welds are a lot better. The axial gas, in my opinion, is it's kind of revolutionary. So the benefits that I've seen from the axial cylinders with the axial tops, first thing is safety. They're a lot safer. If you drop one of them things, it's not going to blow the valve off and shoot the cylinder across the shop. So they're really protected. It's got the built-in flow meter with the axial top. The gauges are real easy to read because some of the old flow meters, they get wore out, they get cloudy, they get hard to read, they get banged around, they get broken. The axial cylinders use the gas from the bottom of the cylinder, so you're using all of the gas in the cylinder. And also the quality of the gas, in my opinion, is very well. I haven't had any issues with welding defects that has came from the gas itself.
I think a lot of people are hesitant when they want to start a new relationship with somebody and you're trying to figure out what is this vendor trying to do. They're trying to sell me on something. There's a trust factor there, and it takes a little while to gain trust with somebody. I get it. But the support I've received from ReadyArc and Airgas, they're here whenever we need them to be. Once you realize their expertise and the knowledge that they have, and they're there to help, there shouldn't be any hesitation at all. It's really a no-brainer.